Taurus, stop everything right now and listen to me with full attention. What I'm about to reveal may seem impossible at first, but you'll recognize every word as absolute truth as I go along. There is a woman who is about to enter your life, or who has already entered in a subtle way, and she carries with her an energy that can completely transform your world, for better or for worse. And the difference between those two possibilities depends entirely on what you do with the information I'm about to share. This is not a vague warning about people in general. It's a specific, targeted alert about a particular feminine presence that the universe has placed in your path at this exact moment in your life. You may be thinking that there is no new woman in your life right now, that your relationships are all set and known. But I need you to understand something fundamental. She may not have fully revealed herself yet. She may be disguised as a friend, a colleague, a casual acquaintance, or even someone you see regularly but have never paid any special attention to. What makes this situation so delicate is exactly this. She will not arrive with a sign on her forehead telling you who she really is or what impact she can have on your life. She will appear naturally, organically, even innocently. And that is exactly where the danger and also the opportunity lies. Over the past few days, you've probably noticed some strange things happening around you. Conversations that touched on topics that affected you more than they should have. Situations where you felt more vulnerable or exposed than usual. Moments where your intuition sent you warning signs about something you couldn't quite identify. These weren't isolated events or coincidences. They were energetic preparations for what was coming. The universe was calibrating your sensitivity so that you could recognize the signs when they started to appear more intensely. And they're starting to appear now. What I'm going to share is the result of years of observing invisible patterns that repeat themselves in people's lives. There is a specific phenomenon that happens to Tauruses at certain moments in their lives, and you are exactly at that moment right now. It is a period when a female figure appears as a catalyst for profound changes, changes that you didn't even know you needed, but that your spirit has been asking for a long time. This woman may be the key for you to access a version of yourself that has been dormant for years. Or she may be the final test that will determine whether you have truly learned the lessons you came to learn in this life. The difference between these two possibilities is completely in your hands. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how to recognize this presence, what signs to look for, how to interpret the situations that will begin to arise, and most importantly, how to navigate this experience so that it becomes a blessing and not a complication. Because the truth is that it can be both. It all depends on your level of awareness and preparation. Are you ready to find out if this woman is already in your life or if she's about to appear? Taurus, there's one thing you need to understand about your essential nature. You're an earth sign, which means you value stability, security, and predictability. You like things to follow a familiar rhythm when you can trust what's established. And that's exactly why, when the universe decides it's time for you to expand beyond your comfort zone, it doesn't use subtle methods. It sends someone who will shake up your foundations in a way you can't ignore. And more often than not, that person is a woman. Not by chance, but because feminine energy has the unique ability to access places in your soul that you didn't even know existed. This woman who is coming into your life is no ordinary person. She carries a special energy, an intensity that you will feel immediately, even if you can't explain why. It could be through her eyes, the way she speaks, the energy she emanates when she is around you. You will feel as if she can see through your defenses, as if she knows parts of you that you hide even from yourself. And this can be both fascinating and frightening at the same time. Fascinating because finally someone really sees you. Scary because you are not sure if you want to be seen that way. Here's the part you need to understand with absolute clarity. This woman is not coming into your life by chance. She is being sent to you as an answer to the prayers you have been making to the universe for ages without even realizing it. All those times when you felt alone or misunderstood, all the times you wished you could find someone who truly understood you, all the silent prayers for true connection. The universe has heard all of this, and now it is responding. But as always happens with answers from the universe, it comes packaged in a way you didn't expect. Are you prepared to recognize the answer to your own prayers, even when it comes in a completely different form than you imagined? What makes this situation particularly tricky for Taurus is that you tend to bond quickly when someone gets past your natural defenses. And this woman will. Not because she's manipulative or has ulterior motives, although in some cases she may, but because she carries an energy that resonates directly with frequencies that you keep hidden inside. It's as if she holds the key to doors that you didn't even know existed within you. And when those doors start to open, you'll experience feelings and emotions that you may not have felt in years. The question is, are you prepared to handle this intensity wisely? Because the danger isn't necessarily in the intensity, but in how you react to this sudden openness. Taurians, when they feel deeply understood, can become vulnerable in a way that doesn't come naturally to them. They can let their guard down completely and trust completely and immediately. And while this can lead to incredible connections, it can also open the door to devastating disappointments if you don't read the signs correctly. Over the next few days, pay special attention to any woman who awakens in you a feeling of immediate familiarity, as if you already know her from somewhere, even though you know you've never seen her before. Also pay attention to those who provoke in you more intense emotional reactions than the situation would warrant. Disproportionate irritation can be just as significant as sudden attraction. Both indicate that there is something deeper going on than what appears on the surface. And most importantly, observe your own reactions. If you find yourself thinking about a specific woman more often than usual, if she appears in your dreams, if you feel an inexplicable need to be near her, or on the contrary, a strange discomfort in her presence, these are all signs that you have found the person I am talking about. But here's what you really need to know. The thing you need to be careful about is not necessarily her, but yourself. Your own reactions and impulses. This woman may be exactly what you need to grow and evolve, but only if you can maintain your center and wisdom throughout the process. If you let yourself be completely carried away by the emotions she will stir up, you may end up making decisions that will complicate your life in ways you can't even imagine. Can you tell the difference between a connection that lifts you up and one that unbalances you? Here's a truth that can be hard to accept. You've been living an edited version of yourself for so long that sometimes you don't even remember who you really are when no one is looking. This woman will confront you with your lost authenticity. She will mirror back to you aspects of yourself that you've hidden in order to fit in, to be accepted, to keep the peace. And this can be extremely uncomfortable because it will force you to choose between continuing to be the safe version of yourself or risking being who you really are. Most people, when faced with this kind of internal confrontation, choose the path of resistance. They try to discredit the person who is mirroring their truths. They look for flaws in them. They create stories about why they cannot be trusted. It is a natural defense mechanism. But if you do this, you are missing out on a unique opportunity for growth that may not come around again anytime soon. The question you need to ask yourself is, do you have the courage to look at what they are going to show you about yourself, even if it is uncomfortable? Taurus, there's something I need to share that may sound strange at first, but you'll recognize as true as soon as I say it. This woman has probably appeared in your life in subtle ways lately. It could have been through social media, where you noticed someone's profile and felt something different. It could have been in a social situation where you exchanged glances or a few words, but something was left hanging in the air. It could even have been someone from your past who reappeared unexpectedly. The point is that these connections rarely come out of nowhere. There's usually a period of preparation where the universe creates the conditions for a true encounter. If you stop and think about it right now, you can probably identify at least one recent situation where a woman triggered some kind of reaction in you that was out of the ordinary. It could have been positive or negative. It could have lasted for seconds or extended for days. The important thing is that it was meaningful in some way. And if you can't identify any such situation, that means it's yet to come up. And when it does, you'll know right away that this is the one I'm talking about. The caution you need to take is precisely in this process of recognition and in the first moments of interaction, because Taurians, when they feel emotionally touched, tend to either open up completely or close down completely. And both reactions can be problematic. If you open up too much too quickly, you may put yourself in a position of vulnerability that she may not be prepared to honor. If you close down completely, you may be missing out on exactly the opportunity for growth that you have been waiting for so long. The balance lies in remaining open, but aware, receptive, but observant. One of the most important things you need to look for in a woman is how she makes you feel about yourself. Does she make you feel more confident, more interesting, more alive? Or does she make you question your worth, your capabilities, your solvency? This difference is crucial. The right woman for this moment in your life will challenge you, yes, but always in a way that uplifts you. She may show you your blind spots, but in a loving way. She may confront you with your limitations, but she will also show you your potential. If she only makes you feel small, questioned, or inadequate, that is a red flag. Another key thing to watch out for is how she handles your emotions and vulnerabilities when you share them. Tauruses don't open up easily, so when you decide to trust someone, it's because you've truly felt something special. If you share something personal with her and she uses it against you later, or if she doesn't honor the trust you've placed in her, that's a clear sign that you need to protect yourself. But if she welcomes your vulnerabilities with warmth and care, if she makes you feel safe to be authentic, that's a sign that you can trust her more. Now, I'm going to share something that may seem contradictory, but it's essential for you to understand. Sometimes, the woman who will help you grow the most is not necessarily the one with whom you will have the easiest or longest-lasting relationship. Sometimes, the universe sends people into our lives for specific periods with specific purposes, and trying to force these connections to last beyond their natural time can create more problems than solutions. Wisdom lies in recognizing what each person has come to teach you and allowing the relationship to evolve organically, without trying to control it or mold it according to your expectations. This doesn't mean you should be passive or uninvolved. It means you should consciously engage, knowing that not every intense connection is meant to last forever, but that all connections have something valuable to offer if you're open to receiving it. For Taurians, this can be especially challenging because you tend to want permanence and stability in your relationships. But sometimes the greatest stability you can have is the flexibility to flow with whatever life throws at you. Are you willing to connect deeply even though you know it might not last forever? There is also a possibility that I need to mention, although I hope it is not your case. This woman may appear in your life as a test of the lessons you have already learned. If you have been through difficult situations with women in the past, if you have had relationships that have hurt you or made you question your ability to judge people, she may appear with characteristics similar to those that caused you problems before. This is not a coincidence or a punishment. It is the universe giving you the opportunity to demonstrate that you have grown, that you have learned, that you are now able to recognize patterns before getting too deeply involved. If this is the case, your mission is not to avoid it completely, but to interact with it in a new, wiser, more conscious way. Show yourself that you can stay centered, even in the face of energies that previously threw you off balance. This does not mean being cold or distant, but it does mean being present without losing your identity, being loving without being naive, being open without being thoughtless. It is an opportunity to practice mature love, the kind of love that is not based on need or neediness, but on conscious choice and mutual respect. What I want you to understand most is that no matter how this situation unfolds, you have everything within you to navigate it wisely and emerge stronger. Your Taurian nature gives you an inner stability that many other signs lack. Even when you feel emotionally shaken, there is a solid core within you that remains intact. Trust that core. Use it as an anchor when emotions run high. Remember that you don't have to make major decisions when you're emotionally upset. You can feel everything, process everything, but give yourself time for clarity to emerge before you act. Over the next few weeks, keep a journal of your interactions and feelings, not just about this specific woman, but about all of your significant interactions. This will help you see patterns that may not be obvious at the time. You may find that certain situations or types of energy affect you in ways you didn't notice before, or you may notice that you're reacting differently to similar situations than those that have caused you problems in the past. Both are signs of growth and evolution. And remember, the caution you need to take is not to protect yourself from intense experiences, but to make sure you are living those experiences consciously. A life without emotional risk is a life without real growth. What you want to avoid is not the intense emotions, but the unconscious reactions to those emotions. You want to feel everything, but choose your actions based on wisdom, not just impulse. Can you tell the difference between wise protection and limiting fear, Taurus? It's time for me to reveal something that could completely change your perspective on this situation. This woman is not just someone who will appear in your life. She is a mirror that the universe is placing in front of you so that you can see who you really are when you stop limiting yourself. Every reaction she provokes in you, every fear that arises, every hope that is kindled, all of this is information about yourself, about your unmet needs, your untapped potential, your unhealed wounds. That's why care is so important. It's not about caring about her, but about what you discover about yourself through your interactions with her. Some of these discoveries may be uncomfortable. You may realize that you have patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. You may discover fears that you thought you had overcome. You may recognize aspects of yourself that you have denied or rejected. But you may also discover strength where you thought there was weakness, love where you thought there was only need, wisdom where you thought there was only confusion. True transformation happens when you can look at all of this without judgment, with curiosity and compassion for yourself. When you can see your patterns without condemning yourself for them, when you can acknowledge your limitations without diminishing yourself because of them. This woman will be the catalyst for this process, but you are the one who will determine how it unfolds and what fruits it will bear. There's one last thing I need to share, and it's perhaps the most important of all. Trust your Taurus intuition. You have a natural ability to sense the true essence of people beyond appearances. When you're with this woman, when you're interacting with her, pay attention to what your body is telling you. Is your breathing becoming calmer or faster? Are your muscles relaxing or tensing? Do you feel more like yourself, or do you feel like you have to put on a role? These are all valuable pieces of information that your body is giving you about her energy and your compatibility. Your body never lies. Your mind can be tricked, your feelings can be confused, but your body always knows when something is aligned or misaligned with your well-being. If she makes you feel physically good, if you feel more relaxed and centered in her presence, that is a very positive sign. If you feel tension, physical discomfort, or a need to protect yourself when you are with her, pay attention to that too. Don't ignore these signs in favor of an intense emotional or mental connection. Taurus, what is coming into your life through this feminine presence is a unique opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It may be challenging, it may be intense, it may shake up structures that you thought were well established, but that is exactly what you need at this point in your journey. You have reached a point where gradual, safe growth is no longer enough. You need a catalyst, something that will move you more dramatically toward who you truly are. This woman is that catalyst. Use this experience wisely. Stay open, but aware. Be vulnerable, but not naive. Trust, but verify. Most importantly, remember that you have the power to choose how you respond to any situation, no matter how intense it is. You are not a victim of your circumstances or the feelings that other people evoke in you. You are the author of your own experience, and this is yet another opportunity to write a brilliant chapter in the story of your life. Are you ready to embrace this opportunity with all the wisdom and courage you have? Share in the comments if you can identify a feminine presence in your life that matches what I've described, or if you've been feeling an inexplicable anticipation that someone important is about to show up. Your experiences may help other Taurians recognize the signs in their own lives. Subscribe to the channel now, because this is just the first part of a journey that will unfold over the next few weeks. You will need guidance on how to interpret the signs that will appear, how to deal with the intense emotions that may arise, how to make wise decisions even in the midst of emotional intensity. Turn on the notification bell to be alerted immediately when I post content that will guide you through the next phases of this transformative experience. Remember, you have been warned not to be afraid, but to be prepared. The care you need to take is loving care of yourself, mindful attention to your own reactions and needs. This woman may be exactly the blessing you have been asking the universe for, disguised as a challenge, or she may be the challenge you need to become the blessing the world is waiting for you to be. In either case, you will win if you know how to navigate the experience with wisdom and awareness. Now you know. Now you are prepared. Now just trust the process and allow it to take you exactly where you need to be.